The Square Ball Podcast.
Well, we've assembled the jury now to give Phil Hay the Villain of the Week award, I believe, for his
Not necessarily.
his tweeting activities. Yeah, we have. Of course we have. It's the Ken Bates Villain of the Week award that we need to judge on, and the Gaetano Berardi Hero of the Week award. We'll also find out what people have been scored out of 10 for our continued ongoing exciting. I think it's one of the things that everybody's talking about now. Who's going to win the Square Ball Player of the Year?
Oh,
Are we going to get a trophy made for that, by the way? I'd mentioned it last year, but we hated all the bastards and we kind of just forgot about it, didn't we?
yeah, it wasn't worth it last year, was it? But, I mean, we could get a trophy.
I mean, again, falling back on what I was saying last year before he was a very naughty boy, it was going to be Willie Nontar. I was going to fix it so he won it so we could hand over the trophy to him. But I think Jorginho's stolen that crown now. So if we can fix it so Georgie wins it and we have a trophy made, he'd willingly accept some shit trophy that we handed over, wouldn't he? If we
There's maybe an argument for making it something more ephemeral, because you don't know how he decorates his house. You don't want to lumber him with something that might not fit in.
It'll be like fucking Willy Wonka's chocolate factory in there.
Wow, but that's the risk you're taking. You're buying something kind of, gaudy. If you buy him Sagrada Familia,
he might like some. He might like some Gaudi.
You can live there now. That'd be it. But maybe some oats for his horse or something would go down. Something practical.
Yeah.
A shovel.
In fact, you can get different trophies, can't you, with different animals and like darts players on them and stuff. We should get one with a horse on it.
If his horse wins, I mean, it came fourth. So it needs to, him and it need to book their ideas up and the rider.
Right. Step up then and nominate your Villain of the Week.
Feels like quite a light week, villains wise. So I'm going to go with Rich's suggestion actually, which is the linesman who flagged that spectacular own goal offside. Because we've forgotten about this. I don't even think we mentioned it in the match ball, but it was a real thing of beauty, was that? And the moment of seeing it was Phillips, wasn't it? The moment of seeing his face and their complete relief pouring through him as he sees the linesman's flag raised, and he's just like
Plymouth game, isn't it?
Yeah. Where he just leathered it into the top corner from across.
A contemporary reference for the kids as well that Rich has made. That goal definitely would have been included on a Nick Hancock Christmas football VHS compilation.
As was being discussed here last week.
It really was, yeah. I mentioned
so
that.
it is a contemporary reference because it's referring to us.
I don't think that was broadcast, was it? Or was it?
Can't remember.
I think that might have just been us chatting.
Don't know what ends up getting put out.
Saying, I forget what I've said privately and in public now. It's very difficult.
The close-up on Ashley Phillips after that, where he was kind of looking at his mates and laughing, was a thing of beauty as well. I enjoyed his own reaction of like, sorry. Got away with it, though.
And I mean, it was offside. So in some ways, you'd say to the linesman, well done for spotting that. But he's robbed us of a good moment. We could have talked about that for a lot of years. So it'd be one of the best I'd ever seen. And he's robbed us of that now. So thank you very much.
Yeah, I think on what is quite a light week for villains, I'm not even going to labour the point. I'm just going to say Jesse Marsh. We all know why. And then let's give it to that linesman.
That seems fair enough. I think we need to give mention to Don Goodman, who was actually the most nominated.
I mean, Sky have really been pushing the luck, haven't they? It's the fixtures moving, and then it's the choice of co-commentators, and then it's the choice of guests that they have for, I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but I've been looking forward to Everton against Crystal Palace for weeks. Planned it all round.
The big one.
Food in, it was going to be a party, the whole thing.
Did you plan a buffet?
Big production for I woke up Monday morning.
It's like the Super Bowl, isn't it?
At 5, just to start getting to tailgates. Went out of the house.
Don't even own a car.
Yeah, I hired a car, opened the boot, stood next to it, drinking, and then closed that, took the car back, avoided arrest, walked home.
You drank under the limit, obviously.
Yeah, and then realised that the whole thing was ruined.
Yeah.
I
had to throw out all that food you'd ordered in as well. Those Marks and Spencer sandwich platters and sausage rolls.
Throwing it at the television.
Yeah.
It still wouldn't shut him up.
I had a brass band booked like it was FA Cup final day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whole family chewed around.
A police dog display as well.
Around the very small telly.
Yeah.
Or singing Abide With Me together.
It was going to be great.
And then up popped Jesse. Talking.
Yeah. But so Don Goodman, go on.
Yeah, Don Goodman just gets a few it's just Don Goodman talking, really. We know Don Goodman. We're familiar with his work. It's a bit like Jesse, really. You kind of know, what you've been annoyed with before you even hear it, because you're like, yeah, it'll be the usual stuff.
Metrics.
Jesse will be talking about metrics.
We were 8th, which is new. Before, he was just peddling the idea that we were like 2 points above relegation, but now he's like, actually, I found some other metrics that said we were 8th. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, just talking for Don Goodman. And,
can I just say, by the way, Philip has picked up on a point that I made, I think, during one of the shows, that Don Goodman actually, on reflection, alleged murder in that game.
Attempted, anyway.
Attempted, but yeah, because he said they were literally smothering them. Which I don't think that stands up to scrutiny, does it?
No, against the rules. And Dick Van Shitbitch has mentioned, he's said this before, but he said he knows Don Goodman's sister, and she's sound, but I'm starting to dislike her now, simply having that man as a brother. And if you're putting people off family members who you otherwise think are fine, you've gone too far.
There's maybe a hero nomination in here somewhere for David Prutton for still somehow seeming like a good guy, despite being surrounded by this at work all the time. He's somehow not been dragged into.
So I feel in this office. You lot.
Very unfair. You'll be literally smothered for saying it.
Yes.
Linesman?
Yeah, give it him. That goal was great.
Yeah, are you sure? Because, I mean, Phil has really transgressed this week with that tweet. But he meant well.
He'll do it again.
Yeah.
He'll do it again with Phil. He knows no better.
Yeah.
He's got form for this.
Liner then, is it? Do we know the liner's name?
Nah.
Should we find out who it is and dox him?
No, I don't think so.
We've spoken about, again, we're pivoting hideously to the right on this show in order to hoover up audience numbers. Doxing is part of the armoury, I think, isn't it?
Is that right?
I think so.
Oh, people can work it out themselves.
No, don't. No, let's not encourage it. No, don't work it out. It's a joke, Michael.
It's for a very small crime. No one's going to be bothered.
No. A tiny, not even a crime.
Send him a skip at worst.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Have you done that?
No, but it was a thing, wasn't it?
What, sending people skips?
Yeah, there was a Millwall fan years ago who done some stuff and people ended up getting pizzas and skips and prostitutes sent to his house by means of punishment, and I think he's still living with his mum and dad.
Right.
Don't fuck with Leeds fans was the gist of it.
And also don't do any of those things as well. We should say very clearly, because they're probably... Is that a crime? Should we assume so? If only we knew some solicitors who could...
It's wasting the time of some honest local businesses.
Right, okay, yeah.
So don't do that.
The taxpayer and so on. And so forth. Is it the liner? It's the liner. Right. Were there any other sort of petty grievances or cheap shots, by the way? I know the weather was mentioned. Sarah was annoyed at the weather in Plymouth again, which, again, yeah, sort it out. Again, right wing, government cloud machines, sort them out, put them in the right places. Don't have it on a Tuesday night when we're playing. Yeah,
the ref does get a nomination for trying to injure Ampadu. He stunned his foot, didn't he?
Yes, he did. I didn't actually spot that in real time until you mentioned it. And then I think we mentioned it on the match ball, didn't we? Yeah, that was a vicious assault, I think.
But yeah, no, fairly lightweight. We just keep winning games, don't we?
Yeah, it's good.
And apart from when we beat Preston, it's hard to really hate anyone.
Yeah. Yeah. Scores. Hit me with some numbers then, babe.
Daniel Farke, best one. But of the players...
That's Plymouth, by the way.
Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
Willie Nonto, best player.
Just shy of 8. Again, the subs are the ones that score lowest. But yeah, Willie, Ampadu, Ruter, Gruev, Melier, Archie, Rodon, all above 7. Fine. Good.
Basically, everyone did fine. Somerville with a very low score, actually, by his standards.
He has been a bit funny during this run of wins. I'm not sure he's been at his best, but he's scored loads of goals and got loads of assists. So it's been absolutely fine. This has been a bit of not quite the joy of that he was playing with earlier in the season, but still just brilliance. So it's been absolutely fine.
Has it coincided with Nonto's good form, you think?
One of them can only be good at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But he's still on track to be Player of the Year.
Rodon.
Just about.
Rodon very, very close. Yeah, Ampadu, Ruter. Feels about right, doesn't it? We'll see how that one plays out.
And if he still scoring goals and getting assists and all that kind of stuff. I liked his goal against Swansea is probably a good example of it, because instead of him, he's missed a couple, like thing where he just rolls it into the corner from inside the penalty area because he can just put the ball where he wants. A couple of them didn't quite work out. He's thinking, oh, what's up with Cree? and then he just starts smacking it in off a defender's leg, and you're like, he sorted it out, it's fine.
I know Cree seems to be what people call him, but when you hear that as a name, do you not just think of Jesse Marsh saying it?
Yeah.
Because I think it puts me off it. I want to call him something else.
Cree.
Yeah. It made me think it was just a Jesse thing, which I'm sure it isn't, but I want to give him a different name.
Jesse tried to ruin Bill for us at one point as well, didn't he? Like, I was like, who's Bill? Anyway, no, I think it's fine. If everyone's calling you Cree, I'm sure everyone else can forget it. And there's nowhere else really to... I suppose you've got options. Sense?
Jimmy is the other one. The Jimmy Somerville thing, but maybe not the most modern reference.
CO?
CO.
Yeah.
Sounds like a character from Star Wars.
Yeah, that's probably not going to work. Summer?
Sounds like a pretty American girl.
And then you've got Villy.
Villy?
Yeah. It's going to get confused with Willie.
I was going to say that's
Farke's going to be.
That's just the German accent.
I once did kiss a very pretty American girl called
You're going to say you once kissed a very pretty Willie.
It's absolutely true. When I was on holiday in the United States in 1994 at 16 years old, I kissed a girl called Summer.
Well, that sounds far-fetched as far as I'm concerned.
And then I got back to watching Dawson's Creek.
And then you had your girlfriend who went to the other school.
Anyway, Hero of the Week award. Who's in the hat this week? Please hit me with your rhythm stick.
I'm going Farke as a contrast to Marsh, essentially. So we all know why. I don't need to go into it very much. But
Yin and yang. Yin and yang, rather.
Yeah, the never-ending sort of, and also creepingly increasing profile of Jesse, who seems to have decided that being on podcasts is not giving him the attention that he needs. So now he's going on the television. I don't know if next it's going to be on like terrestrial television, and then I don't know where he's going to go for that. If he's going to start knocking on our doors.
Now, the real estate.
Can I tell you about the net?
In America, will put like billboards of themselves.
Yeah,
that's always an option. Just Jesse Marsh's face by motorways.
Yeah,
you do see that sometimes. Where I'm thinking in particular next to the ITV studios, there's a young actor has pasted a photo of themselves with a QR code, like saying, "I'm an actor.
Oh wow,
hire me." Which worked. I did look them up. They seem to be pretty good. But I didn't
what have you hired them for?
Well, this is it. I've not got any work for them to do. But if that was you,
just come round and do the dishes.
Know that it's been noticed. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Farke started doing billboards, net for hire, all that kind of stuff.
Mike, haven't you left your picture and some QR codes in phone boxes around Leeds?
It's the other thing that works as well. Of course, that's. I'd forgotten about that.
Have you managed to drum up any business from that?
I don't think that's a very modern reference, you know.
Well, that was me assuming that this was an actor next to YTV. Maybe the services they were offering were something otherwise. I doubt it.
Only one way to find out.
I wouldn't be surprised if Marsh, just any route he can get to. But yes, so the opposite of that is just Farke getting through the press conferences, being fine. I know he doesn't. This always happened with from Norwich. I made this mistake. He looks like he's wearing a donkey jacket, but he isn't. But I like that he looks like he is.
Are you imagining sort of a goth kind of?
No, like a sort of brown suede kind of thing. A donkey jacket. Everyone knows what donkey. We're back to donkeys as was being previously discussed. Maybe part of the
John Motson coat. Is that what you think?
No, that's a sheepskin coat.
Right.
A donkey jacket. Everybody knows what a donkey jacket is. I don't
fully know what a donkey jacket is.
I'm Googling it just to double check.
I have confidence in our listeners
and
viewers that despite the cultural intervention of Shrek, they will know what a donkey jacket is.
A donkey jacket is a medium-length workwear jacket, typically made of unlined black or dark blue thick Melton woolen fabric with the shoulders back and front reinforced and protected from the rain with leather or PVC panels. I imagine like a miner.
Yes.
Wearing a donkey jacket.
Yes. And I can picture...
Again, another contemporary reference for people in this country.
Miners. I mean, people still get things out of the ground. I always just picture Farke wearing one, and always have. And I like that about him. It says a lot of good things to him. Whereas I don't know why I would picture Jesse Marsh wearing... Well, it's his jeans, isn't it?
Chris Murgatroyd does address that quite concisely. He says, for uniting the team, the fans and the club as a whole, such a change from that Yank character from last year.
And Mal Falcon raises a good point that he doesn't think he's won Hero of the Week this year. I'm
Well,
not sure if
might
that's
not have done.
but it's got to have been a while if he has.
Are we capable, though, of ahead of the Leicester game, if we give him the award, are we jinxing it?
He's won Manager of the Month in this
Yeah,
period.
and he looked delighted about that as well.
He's
Those photos.
unflappable, isn't he? And that's what I like about him.
He's very serious for the most part.
The only thing that seems to annoy him is when we miss chances, but I noticed him making the effort about that in the who did we last beat at home? Rotherham?
Yes.
When Somerville missed the chance when we went through one-on-one. And instead of... He has a tendency to kind of walk around his technical area with his hands to the sky and looking up, going, why do they not just score? But when that one, he just turned around, kept his arms very firmly by his side and just went and sat in the dugout. It was obviously he didn't want Somerville to see exactly how angry he was about that one. So appreciating the effort involved in being so unflappable as well.
You were talking about Farke being quite a serious man there, Michael. I don't imagine Farke, just to throw back to what we were talking about before, doing animal impressions. It doesn't strike me like a fancy dress kind of guy. It doesn't strike me like a, like doing like charades or something like that.
I don't know. Behind closed doors.
He
Yeah.
had the thing about Joffrey killing cows, didn't he?
That's
He's
true.
definitely familiar with animals.
Yeah.
Knows that they're there.
What animal do you think Daniel Farke might do an impression of, and could we hear it?
Well, animals don't speak, do they? So
Well,
would you?
as we've established already, talking about donkeys, Shrek, donkey speaks.
Well, yeah, but that's not a documentary.
So could you
What do
do...
you- whoa.
Could you do an impression
What do
of
you mean it's not a documentary?
Daniel Farke doing an impression of the donkey from Shrek? Is basically what's being asked of you here.
Yes.
A reasonable response to that is no.
Yeah,
But if you could,
I'm gonna go with no.
You're pleading the fifth on this one.
Yeah, please.
Please. Oh, dear me.
There's a whole strange cultural cross section here, and I feel like I could offend more or less everybody.
Yeah.
So let's not.
Right.
although the one pleasant result of that would be if you got a load of donkeys at your door, because donkeys are lovely. So if a lot of them just turned up,
You could make a sanctuary. I bet your boys would love it.
you've got quite a big garden. Have you ever considered giving it over to the benefit of donkeys?
No.
Because you would reap the benefits as well from having a garden full of donkeys.
Neighbours would love it as
They're
well.
really, really noisy.
No, they're fine.
Just tape their mouths up.
It's not so much a you lose the sanctuary vibe if you're taping up the
You
mouths.
think so?
Yeah, it just takes the
Edge off it.
just sort of takes the joy out of it a little bit, I think.
Running around your garden with a roll of gaffer tape.
Just leave them
Shut
fully
up!
trussed up the whole time. While Joffrey kicks footballs at him, trying to shut them up.
Who else have we got nominations wise? Sorry, where are we going?
Should probably nominate Liam Rosenior after last night. He's the whole manager.
Yep.
So you know.
It's pending our result against them, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. It was a while ago.
They can stop being good now, can't they? Have they still got to play Leicester? Maybe.
I'm
They could
not
be
sure,
good for that,
actually.
and if they play it switched as well, be good then, but just not against us. They can be as good as they want.
I'm concerned about that whole game because I'm missing it. We're away that week. We're going away that day, but my wife is not. We're only going over towards sort of Lancashire, West Coast kind of thing. She's not. My wife is not amenable to me going to the game and then following them on later. Apparently, I've got to be there.
It's a nightmare, isn't it?
I know, but I'm concerned I'm going to miss something. A game, probably.
I mean, Rosenior did work with Wayne Rooney at Derby, which counts against, I suppose. But, you know, done good work this week, as have Carrick and Woodgate at Middlesbrough.
Not Luke Ayling?
Yeah, him too.
Howson?
Him too.
Jelly
Greenwood.
mentions
Him
Luke
too.
Ayling. Jelly mentions Luke Ayling as well for a doff of the cap here. Spurring on a dressing room in Middlesbrough to try and spearhead our title push.
Is that everybody at Middlesbrough? I always feel like, because Mowatt's not there anymore, is he?
Was he ever there?
Been for a while. Possibly not.
I think
Maybe you've just imagined him.
he was in the Red of Barnsley.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Spiritual. It's Barnsley, Middlesbrough, just different places, same place.
Yeah,
Same concept.
He's there on loan, it seems.
There we go.
There you go.
Who is it? Mowat is.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
What? From West Brom?
Yeah.
No, he was.
He was there, yeah, 22, 23. Played 28 games for him.
Did he?
I knew it.
Yeah. We were in the Premier League. We didn't.
Ah, right. Was that? Were they still doing this when
Yeah.
we were up there? Right. Any other mentions we want to give before we crown someone?
I mean, just other people for being good. Ampadu just for being good. is why he keeps getting nominated.
Can we mention him as part of the Flamingo Land video? The four of them, that quartet, really, they genuinely cheered me up this week. Not that I was miserable. I was just like, that really lifted my spirits. I thought, that's what a lovely thing.
Yeah, and Ruta gets some for, assists and goals.
Double
and
megs.
stuff. Double megs.
And saying porcupine.
He's not English.
No, he's better for that. I'm not going to go at him. It's an asset.
What a polo man. Still his best answer.
Is it Farke then?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. If we lose now on Friday, having done this,
It would be absolutely unrelated.
That is true.
Completely nothing to do with it.
No, you're right there. No, you're absolutely right. They are completely unrelated matters. Do we have anything else to add then, or should we go off into the night and look forward to Friday under the lights at Ellen Road and our inevitable charge towards the title?
Imagine if we actually won the title.
It'd be good. It'd be really funny about Leicester, not because the Leicester fans haven't even enjoyed watching them play. So imagine hating every minute of them being brilliant and then losing in the playoffs.
You get the feeling even if they went up in second now, they'd be absolutely livid about it.
Oh, yeah.
Which would be great.
Because it's been a cruise all season. They've not had to worry about it, have they, at all? They've been going up. And then if they suddenly... You actually came up with a scenario that didn't make it onto the recording that we did yesterday, mainly because I forgot to press record on the video of propaganda when we did that. So we lost
there's
it.
a villain nomination that we
Yeah, you're
missed.
right, actually.
Yeah, but nobody needs to know.
Yeah, you're trying
that.
to get everybody to pile in on Phil Hay just because he tweets in good faith.
We just treated it as a rehearsal, Moscow, and it was the second pass round was better.
We didn't miss all of it, did we?
No, but what you actually did conceive a scenario that would be hilarious for the final. I know we're all chucking brickbats at Southampton for that stats account, or I am anyway, having said that Leeds were out of the race, and I want to rub it in their face on the final day. But you came up with an alternative scenario that could be even funnier than that.
Yeah, where we play out a 0-0 draw with Southampton on the last day to both go up with Leicester in third. Both need a point to guarantee promotion on that.
So let's say
day.
we're both 3 points ahead of Leicester. We know
our
that,
goal difference is such that we know
that basically we can play out the Italian draw.
Yeah, and there's just a full day of drinking and being stupid at Ellen Road as both teams get promoted.
So nobody's tackling each other. They're just passing it around at the back, and we're olaying everything.
Exactly.
There's an FA investigation afterwards. Points deductions are handed out.
Do you not like this as much, Moscow?
It feels like an unholy alliance with Southampton fans. I don't know how I feel about Southampton supporters in general.
They're just fine, aren't they?
Well, yeah. So that's what I mean. Is like, do I want to go from being like they're just fine to being like, oh, we have this bond now, and then when we're in the Premier League and we play each other again, and it's like, all right.
Oh, we agree to play out the draw,
and then never speak of this again.
Then last minute, Georgie sets off on a run.
Yeah, I think the funnier. I don't know how it would work, but it's like to play out a 0-0 draw with Southampton, and that has us and Ipswich up.
They were really
fool them somehow.
It's impossible to not go through scenarios, isn't it, for that last day?
Yeah,
I've thought so many times about when that happens, and then it might be like Derby because maybe we'll go into it with big expectations. It'll start well, but then it'll turn around and they'll win, or maybe it'll be like Bristol, and we'll. Oh, and is it better if it's like that? Like we could go into it not needing anything, and it'd just be a party day. Would be fun, but would it actually be better to have it all horrendous and nail biting?
It's that feeling of getting it over the line. I know it feels like the most delicious way to get promoted would be that. But if we did it the week before in the away game and we weren't there, it'd be fine because it would turn the whole home game into a party. And like, we did it. It'd be amazing, especially because we didn't get to celebrate last time.
I've actually not considered what the other teams are doing. So it's Leicester are at home to Blackburn on the final day, and Ipswich are doing. They're at home to fucking Huddersfield. So Ipswich are going to win.
Huddersfield might need to win to stay up.
Yeah, and they won't.
No, they probably won't.
So
they've got a new manager. That's exciting.
It won't be better.
I did read a bit about the new manager. He's got like a high pressing, high energy style, and I did sort of think if you looked at this, if you looked at their squad, like it's not their best player is still Hoggy, who I think's about 38. So
yeah, get Tom Lee's pressing.
It might not work.
Hey, not our problem, is it?
No.
But, one more time it is before the end of the season, but we shall see. We shall see.
When we can welcome all the Huddersfield fans back from their long trip to Ipswich, but it should be home in time for our party, shouldn't they?
I'm sure
Big West Yorkshire
involved.
Big West Yorkshire come together to celebrate the good times, we would welcome them, wouldn't we?
We can all celebrate as one.
Yeah.
Meet halfway down the Leeds Road, hey? Meet halfway down the Leeds Road. Right, we'll wrap up the show there then. Thank you for joining us on the video or the audio, or both. Maybe you've done it twice. Who knows? We've got the match ball Friday night after the Leicester game, and we'll speak to Phil over the weekend as well and get that one out for you.
There's a new magazine out for Leicester too.
Oh, wow.
So buy that.
Best bit about that? One line. Tell me about Gaetano Berardi.
I was going to tell you about Reg Park, who was Arnold Schwarzenegger's inspiration. If you want to know more about that, you have to buy the mag and read it.
Very much the Brendan Aronson of his day.
Right,
That's what people said about him.
But Gaetano Berardi is a columnist in there, and he reveals a fun thing about Matthäus Klick in this month's mag, so you have to buy it to read it.
And a very nice Welsh cover.
I was going to say buy in Welsh then, but I don't know what it is. So, bye.
The Square Ball Podcast.